it is Street Talk time. We're going to be chatting about this week's Coronation Street. And like I said earlier, I don't think it quite reached the highs of the Driscolls' debut week this week, did it? We've been a bit on it. Don't leave it to me to do all the lead, Gemma. We're joined front on this. Just saying that Corrie this week was a bit on the meh side.
I can't, man.
It felt like there was so much joy and positivity and hope with the Driscolls' arrival on the street this week. And they weren't too bad, to be honest, this week. I still think that Ben Driscoll is an absolutely fascinating character. I'm loving him. And you know, Maggie is always good for a laugh. I'm kind of surprised how ambivalent I am towards Eva at the moment. Because she was the one that we were most excited about seeing, in a way. Because, Eva, I love her. And I don't think they're particularly using her to her strengths yet.
But I think that's probably a good thing. They're reining her in so that we can learn more about the Driscolls.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's probably what they're doing. But
I do not care about Poochie at all.
Poochie Will.
Yeah, I don't care about Poochie.
I know.
Where's Will gone? Oh, he's missing. He was in Hull and now he's not. He went to Aberdeen and now he's not here. Okay, I don't care. I don't even know what it looks like.
Yeah, I think that it was a bit of a unsuccessful mystery at the beginning of this week with Will's disappearance.
I know this is like a super common thing in soaps where they're like, the new characters have turned up and they've got a problem. Like, I don't care. I don't know who these people are. I've got my own problems. I've got people who live on the street I live in who's got their problems and I don't care about them either. You've got to give me a reason.
I don't know. I didn't particularly enjoy that part of it, and I'm just thinking, do we need another teenager on the street right now?
Well, Liam doesn't have any friends, so yes.
It feels Liam felt a little bit different today. He felt like he was a bit more laddish, a bit more vim, a little bit more liveliness in him.
He's grown up.
He's grown up a little bit.
Are we going to do? We're not doing the.
Yeah, we'll do this. I got some clickbait. I just was doing a little bit of an entree to today's street talk. But if you would like me to whiz across and tell you some clickbait story headlines for you to guess, then here we go. Thank you very much to Jonathan for sending them. As always, this first article comes from the Manchester Evening News, who say Coronation Street fans think they've confirmed Peter Barlow return in Becky Swain twist. So, what's that all about, Gemma?
Well, she mentioned that Carla's had problems with men, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So, do people think that Becky's going to contact Peter and go and tell on her?
Maybe, kind of. You're not a million miles away. So, Peter did get a name drop the other day, didn't he? Which got people's tongues wagging and brains whirring. People are actually thinking that maybe already Becky knows Peter. Why would Becky know Peter? Where's Peter? Where is Peter?
Is he just sailing around Alicante going,
That's exactly it. Well, we heard that Peter was going off to Spain on a boat, didn't we?
I didn't know it was Spain.
Yeah, apparently. And so they're saying that maybe Becky already knows Peter from there.
God, this is like someone goes, oh, you're from Canada. Do you know my friend Bob? He lives in Toronto. No, I don't. Funnily enough.
But bigger coincidences have happened in Weatherfield. I would.
Yeah, it does. That happens all the time.
I would really like Peter to come back in the moment just to see what he would add to the mix, honestly, because it's chaotic enough as it is, and I think that
it could actually save it at this point because I am so over it at the moment.
I'm going to and fro. I mean, it was only a week or two ago, and I was saying, I want to know what's going on with Swala and Becky. And this week, it did feel a bit like, it's
just Becky
spinning its wheels a little bit. Becky popping up and saying, "Oh, Willow,
I'm going to do something evil in a minute." It's like, go on then, stop lurking around with Costello in alleyways and going on social media.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Just do something, and other than lurking around on people's sofas and dropping teaspoons.
That's the Becky that I like, the kind of chaotic, pixie, impish Becky.
Yeah, she's like Puck.
She is very puckish, isn't she? When she turned up at the end of today's episode going, oh, Curtis's lot are after me.
Oh, God.
Part of me was saying, oh, here we go, back again. And part of me was saying, what's she doing, the little scamp. But yeah, I need it to move forward a little bit faster now. But if if this story is going to be tied in with the crossover, that's still 2 months away.
Oh my God.
So
Curtis,
we could be getting at this stage for a while.
Is the Will of this story.
Just the unnecessary.
I don't know who you are. Go away.
Well, he's dead.
I know. He's been dragged through the mud worse than Becky was.
Anyway, that was our first clickbait of the week, and we've also got this.
Becky Falconer. We know now.
Yes, she has got a maiden name, hasn't she?
And my theorising about who took whose name.
Yeah.
I was wondering whether Lisa was a Swain or someone
Lisa
else.
has always been a Swain, which does mean that the potential Arnold Swain link is still there.
Okay, yeah.
Which is kind of quite
funny.
ironic. History of bigamy.
Bigamy?
Yes.
Bigamy? Right.
I think that if you're gonna reveal that deep cut lore dump that she's actually related to notorious street bigamist Arnold Swain, then now's the time to do it.
I just can't. How would it come up in conversation? Can you imagine if you're the scriptwriter who's got to work that into conversation?
It's easy. Lisa just says, "Look, I'm not getting married to you. My uncle Arnold already, he got himself in trouble with that, and I don't want to be the second one in the family." It's just as
excellent.
easy as that.
You should get a job working on this show.
Right, next bit of clickbait we have got from the Mirror. This is Coronation Street fans work out Glenda's new love interest, and he's a familiar face.
Is it Poochie?
No, it's not Will. Glenda wouldn't do this.
Ben?
I thought I knew what this was about, but I was actually wrong.
Ben.
No. Although,
is it? It is a man.
It is a man. Glenda's new love interest.
Steve.
No.
Give me a clue.
Okay, so what this article is saying, what they've pulled from a Facebook group, is that somebody says that Glenda's not going to stay working at the Rovers forever because they're overstaffed. So she's going to go and work somewhere else, and that is where she's going to...
Roy.
Not Roy.
He's a man who owns a business. Tim?
I didn't say it was somebody who owned a business. Which business on the show might be in need of a new owner in the...
Owner?
Yes.
Glenda be an owner of a business?
Well, a taker-overer.
Oh,
I'm
tired.
Okay, it's the hotel. People are saying that Debbie's going to retire from the hotel because of her brain, and then Glenda's going to swan in there to zhuzh
Raphael?
it up. No, wouldn't that be amazing? Glenda
They would
and
get on like a
Raphael.
house on fire. I don't know that they're compatible sexually, but I'd like,
What's their
they could be
shipping
great
name?
mates.
Raphaenda. Glenda Hell. No,
Oh, God.
This is... Who else works at the hotel that Glenda...
Ryan.
Yeah.
No.
Glenda and Ryan.
No. No.
Apparently, there's already a shipping name for that, which is Glendon. And people are reckoning that they should get together. I don't like the idea of that, to be honest.
Next.
Okay. That's enough of that one then. So, I mean, we know the answer to this one, but this is from Entertainment Daily and probably lots of other articles that
What is it?
publications that publish this. Coronation Street viewers work out big twist linking two storylines amid Will's grooming storyline. That's a really badly written headline, isn't it? It's got storyline
Someone
twice.
was going home.
Yeah, I think they were. Gemma, what is this about? Obviously,
it's about the fact that Tim and Poochie were going out, and now Poochie and Poochie are going out.
Use their proper name.
What's her name? No. What's the new woman's name?
Oh, I can't remember.
See?
I don't remember what
Will
her name
and
is. Will and Megan.
Megan.
Yes.
And Tim and
Tim and his
lady.
Shop lady.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember what her name is.
What's the big twist? Like she's their mother and daughter.
No. They're just saying that it's a twist that they're going to collide somehow.
Well, linking them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, I mean,
everybody knew, sort of worked this out, didn't they?
I suppose it was a big twist at the end of Wednesday night's episode when Will goes out into the Ginnel and Megan's there smooching him under the CGI fireworks. You were the one that pointed it out to me first, didn't you? I didn't even think about that, but it seems insanely obvious now that this is being set up to be a grooming storyline because she's his coach at school. She's definitely not anywhere near him in age. He's 15 at the moment.
Yeah.
We know that he's going to turn 16 around Christmas.
Grim.
And yeah, and so that's a bit icky. And
Not
the
a bit icky.
Well, yeah. So I think they're putting this in now to make Tim kind of contextualize it a little bit more and say, look, this is a bit like this.
I was wrong.
Although I'm going to say, And I'm
don't
not
even.
defending what happened between Tim
Don't
and
even
whatever
go
this
there.
woman's
What are
name
you gonna
is.
say?
No, I'm saying that the difference here is that Megan is in that position of responsibility over Will, isn't she?
Safeguarding.
So that's a massive safeguarding faux pas, and I don't think they'd even heard of safeguarding back in when was it, 1986 or whenever it was.
It's going to get flagged on a system, this is.
Yeah, so it's not exactly the same thing.
They didn't even have a system for that back in the day, apart from giving you a medal.
But yeah, Tim's going to find out about this. I need to find out this woman's name. I'm just kind of scrolling back through our episode notes because we've been talking about her in code all this time. When was it? Because that story was odd, wasn't it? Because it sort of came in for a little bit. How long did it last? A week? 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks maximum.
Yeah, it was our Once Upon a Tim storyline, wasn't it? The character... Trisha was her name. So I don't think Trisha and Megan are the same thing, but maybe it'd just be too much of a coincidence if Will was also going out with a woman who owned the corner shop. And that's Rita at the moment.
Rita is such a dirty bird.
That would be a twist. That would be a big twist.
Rita, well, actually, fair game.
But
Rita's got, she's got to keep herself busy.
Got to keep herself young, hasn't she?
She probably eats children his age.
When she's done with the paper boys.
Nobody knows where they go, these paper children.
I just wonder, clearly there's going to be a twist there, and it's going to
What do you mean a twist?
Not a twist, so there's going to be a link here to the Tim and
he's going to find out in
Trisha story. But what's he going to do? Is he going to go, ooh,
it was wrong. That's what I mean. It's like, oh god.
That's the problem with it. If he suddenly goes, oh my gosh, that happened to me. I was groomed.
Everybody.
Then what?
What? So okay.
Is it going to make him feel sad and sink into the depths of despair because sorry, I don't want that? I don't
know. Nobody wants this at all.
Nobody
wants two grooming storylines.
I do not need Tim to critically analyse what happened to him, which shouldn't have happened when he was younger, just because he's seen it happening to someone else.
Okay.
Or, I
don't know where it's going.
Or does he end up befriending Will and saying, look, mate, I know you think that she's all that.
I don't know. Would you think he'd go, yeah, brilliant? And then Will be like, oh, no, this is gross, actually.
Yeah, Tim thinks this is cool that I'm going out with an older woman.
Do you think Tim will be like, oh, my God, I'm going to tell everybody. This is brilliant.
But, yeah, this was Wednesday's episode. It was Will Wednesday, wasn't it? Because it was all about him and his going missing. And then this was the big twist at the end. And I get that, you bring a new family in and you've got to have them have something.
With a bang. You don't really, though. They already did that. I much prefer Ben and Maggie's introduction and Susie to Will's. The other thing I'm going to say is, I think when we spoke about Tim before, we were saying, I think from his perspective, he's viewing it as he is now. I'm a grown man, and when you're young, you don't realise how young you are. You really don't.
No.
And when we were talking about Tim, we were saying, you said something, or one of us said something about a child on the show who's a comparable age to the age Tim was, and just thinking about a child, when you actually see the age of the child, you think this is wrong, this is horrible. I can see why Tim didn't realise, but I think once he sees Will and sees how young Will is and realises that he was the same age, he will understand that it was incredibly wrong. And
yeah, I agree.
And also,
I agree, but then it's still a case of, and then what?
But there's still unfinished business with Trisha, because she had that accusation on her social media about doing the same thing to somebody else.
Yes, I'd forgotten that. That is unfinished business,
so
isn't it?
Do you think there's some kind of evil female grooming gang of middle-aged women working in
Manchester,
Weatherfield?
Hull area? Yeah. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to seeing Trisha coming back now, because I did quite enjoy watching her. I thought she was an intriguing character.
Well, I'm not going to say anything.
Anyway, look, we will get onto that, because that's going to be our first storyline today that we're going to discuss, the best return ever storyline. I've still not come up with a better pun than that.
Returns to his home planet is what it should be called.
I assume everybody gets that Simpsons reference. It's
just
fairly
Google
notorious.
The Simpsons Poochie.
We have then got a bit more of the Beck from the Dead story, although we did have a lovely listener write in today and say that we should call it Schrodinger's wife.
Oh,
is she dead? Is she not dead? I do quite like that.
But you had another one as well.
Did I?
Plodding on.
Oh, plodding on. All these police officers. Yeah, just plodding on. That's what this story's doing. We have got the Battle of the Bitches next, which is Tracy.
That could also be.
It could be, but this is Tracy versus Cassie. I think that's what today's episode missed a little bit. I know lots of people aren't really enjoying those.
I thought you said Catsy, and I thought maybe that was her name at Halloween.
Oh no, that was the name. That was the name of the poor Swain cat, Catsy.
Jeez Louise, what happened to that? Also, Becky hasn't bloody mentioned it. That was her cat too, you presume?
That's Schrodinger's cat, isn't it? Like, does it exist or doesn't it not? Does it not exist?
I literally can't understand why they put this cat in the script and then stop talking about it. Nobody forced them to write a cat in and then never mention it again. And nobody forced them either to make Lisa's flat flood. I
think that they put things in sometimes and they don't expect people are going to pick up on them.
Must be
mention
nuts.
A cat and Coronation Street, we're hungering for cats on this street.
There's a cat at the beginning of the show.
We do love a bit of feline action. And
this bait and switch needs to stop.
Yes. But so sometimes they put things in and then nothing happens with them. I don't think we mentioned this last week on the podcast because I think it's in the last couple of days that this has come out. The whole Maria, does she know about the Karate Kid?
Oh, yeah.
And very well done to that person on the Coronation Street subreddit who found a clip from a year ago. I don't know how you did this, but a year ago, and she was in a scene with Liam talking to him about her fairly substantial knowledge of the Karate Kid and saying, what, Liam, you've never seen the Karate Kid? Oh, we need to watch that together. Fast forward 12 months and suddenly she's calling Mr. Miyagi Mr. Magic. So
maybe she's just
drop the ball there.
Excuse me, this is the beginning of an Issues storyline where we find out Maria's partially deaf.
Maybe she's got dementia. Maybe she's got really early onset dementia.
She's just deaf and she don't pay attention.
I'm not actually criticising Ian Kershaw here for putting that in his script because I think he's lovely. But anyway, I did think that was quite funny that somebody picked that up. I think it was almost worth it for the Mr. Magic scene, which I enjoyed.
You couldn't ever write it again, could you? If you every 5 seconds, contact the archive department to find out whether Maria has any fondness for the Karate Kid movies.
Well, I mean, that's what the archivist is partly there for, aren't they, on Coronation Street? To say, is there a mention of this? But as the archivist, what do you archive? It's like, okay, it's their birthday, I better write that down. Okay, they're allergic to shellfish, that might come up. But are you going to reference in Maria's file that she has watched the Karate Kid? Because, these files at this stage for characters that have been in it for 20 years, 25 years like Maria are going to be pretty hefty. I can really imagine Kirk and Maria watching the Karate Kid thinking his name was Mr. Magic. Well, maybe that's actually the canon of it. I thought it was their accent. Anyway, what did we end up talking about this? Talk about the next storyline, dementia. No, we were just running down the storyline titles, weren't we? Dementia is in it as well. We're going to have a little bit of a bloody Carl there. Bloody Carl. We had a bit more of the Forlorn Hope story, a little bit, bloody Ruby, little bit of the Show Me the Mummy storyline in today's episode. It was not really at all about Shanona's pregnancy, but it was a bit. Well, a little bit, I suppose it was mentioned, but there's more to come in that very soon. Right, before we go any further, I'm just going to come out and say, character of the week for me, Tom Hawksteak. Is that one of the Driscolls' Irish mates, Tom O'Hawk? No comment. I'm not getting embroiled. It's a double-barrelled surname, is it? Tom O'Hawksteak. No, I'm not going there. You can't bait me on it. I did this storyline last week, Gemma, and I know how much you loved Will's appearance on the street. Will. I'm going to give you the floor for best return ever story. Isn't Will played by a highly regarded actor who was in, was it Hollyoaks? I don't know. I thought that everyone was like, this kid's great in whatever he's I've not seen any reactions to Will online. I keep thinking he's from EastEnders for some reason. No, I mean it's early days and I've got no criticism so far at all in his performance ability. It's for me it's just the necessity of another teen on the street. You kind of like, okay, but anyway, but what's been going on week 2 of the Driscolls? Well, it's the day after the big party, isn't it? And everything is a Monday, mess. The day after Friday, Halloween, correct? Bring on 5 days a week, Corrie. Ollie seems to have had nothing to do. He was waiting
His whole life was waiting for his family to arrive at the pub. Because what was he doing before this?
Nothing.
He's there the whole time now.
I know.
What was his job?
He's haunting. He's the lurker of the pub, isn't he? He did today make what were they out to dinner?
Curry.
He made a nice curry
And he
today,
cooked
better
for the
than
Queen.
Maria's. Oh yes, he cooked with the
And
Queen
now she's
once.
dead.
Coincidence?
Him and Liz Truss. Did
Yeah.
you know they went out?
Who?
Ollie and Liz Truss.
This is not true. What are you talking about? Yeah, Ollie.
I'm just making it up because I'm kind of bored of this.
Ollie's another. If it was just Maggie and Eva and Ben and Susie, I'll let her in.
Yeah, Susie.
That would be enough for me.
I'm sorry, Ollie and Will, but
You didn't even keep it a surprise that Ollie was the secret son there, did you, Corrie? Because you put it out on social media, but it doesn't add, at the moment, a jot.
and not wishing to be rude, but it does feel a bit like they went. We haven't given Ollie a personality. What can it be? Cooking. That'll do. That's just dull as well, isn't it? Sorry, Ollie, you're the new Joel.
We did find out that Cassie was a bit of a dab hand in the kitchen this week, didn't we? When she was
making arsenic tea?
No, I can't remember what she was making, but was it
I
Cassie?
don't recall. It's about time somebody just was good at cooking on this bloody show. It's not anyway. Right, so Ollie's crashed out on the booth, and Eva and Ben tell him he needs to go and get Will later because he's coming back from Aberdeen.
So he's been in Aberdeen, coached to Hull. Ollie has to go to Hull to get him, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Seems like an oversight, doesn't it? Delivering your child to the wrong place because you used to live there. It's like the school's gone, well, no.
You can't tell the coach driver to take a detour to Weatherfield.
Go
for
to
one
Aberdeen and
person.
get him.
That's a bit of a way.
It's not from Manchester. It's just up the road, isn't it? Right, so David is banging on to Shona about this pinging incident, which was hilarious.
That was funny that
I really
David.
like this.
Yeah, that is really
Lord of the Pings.
Yes.
And he's Googled Ben online, and he's heard that he had this glittering rugby career, and he's wondering why he was in Hull.
No, I think he was saying that he didn't have a glittering rugby career.
He does it. Well, he's being rude. So he goes into the pub.
Yes. So David and Ben seem to be being set up as rivals in a way.
I don't think that Ben sees David as a rival. It's like a Doberman and a Chihuahua.
Yeah, it's we've described David. It's been quite a while actually as a bit of a scrappy do character, and I don't think he'd stand a chance, would he?
No, but he likes to have a go, just like all small dogs.
But it is making me wonder,
Oh, we are talking about the man, not the dog, by the way.
What would be the purpose of this? And is Ben going to have a go on Shona or something?
What?
Or...
No.
Hopefully it was just for comedy purposes.
No,
because
please, don't say that. I can't be bothered.
No, well.
No, I don't want that to happen.
She does like to try it out with the new characters on the street, doesn't she? If you remember Kit. But I think just to enjoy David's pettiness and.
David has been getting into feuds with all his neighbours. First of all, he had a go at the Connor Swains, and now he's having a go at the Driscolls, which I think is brilliant.
Exactly.
More people should be rude to their neighbours on this show. Anyway, so he's having a go at Eva about this pinging, and Ben's like, I'm not going to do it unless you act like a flump. And then Ben gets a phone call, and Maggie's like... they all just leave David alone unattended.
Unattended in the bar. And what most people would do then is hop over and pour themselves a pint or some crisps. Yeah, but not David.
No, he steals Ben's rugby shirt and wears it, which it fits quite suspiciously well. And so Ben goes to the cafe to ask Shona if she knows anything about it. And she's like, no, David wouldn't have taken it. But he was a bit annoyed about being pinged, but he's had a lot going on. Ben's not feeling very sympathetic, and when he leaves, and then Shona phones David up and goes, give that bloody shirt back. So I love the fact that she knew that he had it, even though she had no idea whether he really did or not. So Ben goes back to the pub, and he says he's gonna wring David's neck, and Glenda then asks Maggie, does Ben have a temper? And she says, when he blows, he blows. So
we saw the biggest evidence of that last week when he got involved in Carl's story, which hasn't resumed with Ben this week, has it? But we got to see his angry side when Will ended up turning up on Wednesday, and I really enjoyed that performance of him having a proper scary go at his son. And I can totally see him
scary
being a bit of a big bruiser kind of guy.
Ben and Eva talk to Christina and George about Will he's doing athletics in Aberdeen.
Yes.
He was in Paris.
Everyone's going off to do sporty things. What's Jack doing? Is he out a football thing on Friday? Send him away.
Can I get an art camp? He was in Paris last year and he's got a teen. And Ollie comes back and goes, oh no, he's not in Hull and he won't answer the phone. So it sounds like he went back to Hull with the school, but then he didn't get the train to Manchester that he was supposed to get. Yeah, so Ollie wasn't going to go to Hull. He was going to go pick him up from the train station.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was an awful lot to take in on Monday's episode.
This is the trouble with children, right? There's always babysitting and travel arrangements. That it's not interesting at all. Not even when you're a parent is this interesting.
No, and it would have been easier to follow if they'd actually shown people going off to these places and not just talking about it.
Could we not have had one of these cool little maps with like his face on with a dot going and then and a big question mark going, where is he gone?
That could be, maybe that's Kate Brooks' new style, overlay map to describe where people are.
Yeah, maybe when they have one of those war films and they have like the shadowy people marching, don't they? They have the footage of them marching, and then they have a map of them going gonna get Hitler, and then they have we're fighting a little battle, and then they have a battle symbol on the map to show.
Something like that,
That's just an idea.
It's probably been pitched somewhere along the line.
We could have that instead of people going, oh, I've got PTSD, woo, woo, again, with the cameras. Can you imagine if they had Will and every time him and Megan were having a smooch, just kiss, 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 kiss all the way over Manchester. Disgusting woman. So he's buggered off. No one knows where he is. He doesn't want to go to Weatherfield because he's heard the rumours. And Maggie's not surprised. And she's like, why did we come here anyway? Because he's got his GCSEs. And they're all like, oh gosh, what should we do? Then Ollie gets a text from one of Will's mates, and he's definitely got off the coach. So where has he gone?
Yeah, he definitely got off the coach in Hull.
Well, what? Of course he has. Otherwise, where would he be? On a coach?
Yes.
Going where?
Maybe you've got stuck under the seats. You're always supposed to check when you leave the coach, don't you?
Yeah. Make sure the coach driver should be checking.
Yeah.
Right. So Ollie's not impressed. Thinks that Will's playing silly beggars. And they're all looking very serious. And then in comes David, and you've made a bit of a schoolboy error here, saying he's wearing a football shirt.
Oh, it's all the same thing.
It's a rugby shirt. And he goofs around a bit, and then Ben looks like he's going to beat him up.
Ben
not in the mood for this.
He immediately marches right up to David, and David can't get that shirt off fast enough, can he?
Forward thinking from David to actually have something underneath it as well, because I thought he wasn't gonna. So Ben and David make up, and Ben declares he's going to go to Hull to find Will. Quarter to midnight, Eva hasn't heard from Will. Do you know what? This is just crap, innit?
I know, I'm really sorry that I've left you with this storyline.
I'm sorry, everybody.
I know that you've had no interest in it.
So here's a question. Was anyone interested in this?
I think I
hate crapping all over a debut of somebody. He's obviously super excited to be in Coronation. Who wouldn't be? To be thrilled to be in Coronation Street. But this kind of reminds me of how Todd came back when it was Gareth Pearce, and I think I remember saying I nearly cried. That story was so bad. And I'm not even exaggerating. I nearly did cry. I think you heard me on the podcast. I nearly cried. That it was terrible.
This, but
this will not be Will's defining moment in the show. I really dearly hope, because this is just absolute crap. Sorry, everybody. So anyway, Will has gone AWOL before everyone finds out, and Maggie says that Will needs to know that he's put Eva through this terrible emotional time, and Eva needs to understand that Will is being put through this terrible emotional time as well. And Maggie then finds a note in Will's bag, which is intriguing.
I was confused about this, and I didn't go back to look at it. Why do they have Will's bag?
I don't know.
I can't remember what.
Well, I
was it
presume they moved everything. They didn't just go, right, Will, go back to Hull, pack your stuff and get on the train.
Yeah, he's got a love
Some of his
note,
stuff is there, but why is she going through it? Anyway, there's a note about having a nice night with him or something and a kiss. So it looks like there's a girl involved. And Maggie's like, you know, if Will doesn't come back, you're going to regret moving here.
Yes. There's just got a bit
I think Maggie just really loves the drama and she really loves seeing Eva squirm.
Mm. Well, that was what I particularly liked in today's episode was when Kirk came round to pick up Liam.
Oh, yeah.
And then him and Eva were kind of bitching about Maria towards each other. And Maggie was just there going...
Oh, brilliant.
She was clearly loving it. I don't think... I think I'm definitely still enjoying Maggie. I mean, she was our character of the week last week.
Yeah.
I'm not there watching every scene going, oh my gosh, this woman is amazing. You know, sometimes with the characters, and she came in when she was utterly iconic last week. This week she's just been good. Standard good.
So on Wednesday, the Driscolls wave Susie off to school and they're still worried about Will. Can you believe it?
Well, she's particularly worried about Will as well, isn't she? And,
Susie.
And wasn't it then Maggie was saying, oh, don't worry about it. I'm sure he'll be back by the time you get back from school, so you will.
Eva and Maggie are at each other's throat. What were you going to say then?
No, that's a Northern Ireland expression, isn't it? She picked it up from Ben.
Eva and Maggie are still at each other's throats. And then Eva was saying, oh, Leanne, come and hang out with me because I want some sister time with you. But actually she just wants Maggie to leave her alone.
Yes. Stop sighing after
in the cafe later. Brian and Roy, it just seems so disjointed as well. Brian and Roy are talking to Maggie about Will, trying to reassure her, but they're just driving her up the wall and talking about bats, and she says, I can't sit here all day talking about cricket.
That was a really good line, wasn't it? Because Roy was telling her about the bat club that he was in, and she says about the cricket thing. I thought that was very clever.
She brings out some missing posters and Roy's like, why would you put this up? No one knows who he is. I don't care, is what he says. I don't like the storyline, so don't put that up in here. I want to keep this book club.
Only just taken down the Lauren missing poster.
Yeah, and Roy's like, just to tell you, Lauren was a new character last year who went missing and no one cared then either. So don't think you're going anywhere with this storyline.
Maybe Will was just attempting to get some of the hype
that wears
Lauren.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, you got
Conversation Street to do a special bonus podcast about Where's Will.
Cry more about it.
Oh, we should have called this Where's Willie, like Where's Wally. But then our American contingent might not have got that because he's Waldo over there, isn't he?
Big Willie style.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be a storyline from another time. Pop that in your pocket, everybody. Eva tells Swala that Ben is on his way back from Hull and they still haven't found Will. I guess. Just tell me when you find him is what I would say about this.
Yeah, you don't need to mention him anymore.
Tell me when he turns up. The police are coming to look as well. Lily's doing an Insect Day volcano project. This is just chaos, this story. Police come to the pub.
Why did they have an insect down on Wednesday?
It's supposed to be a Monday.
No, this is Wednesday.
Well, anyway, the police arrive at the pub and Will is lurking.
Oh yes, this is the
first time we see him.
But
I couldn't tell if it was him because he had a hood up, and without further comment, to me, his most distinctive feature is his hair. So I wasn't quite sure if it's the same person because when I saw the picture of him, that's all I saw. He does look like a proud member of the Broccoli Bunch. Brody would like, so you can be in my gang, mate. A fashionable haircut. Yeah. For the youth of today. My day it was curtains. I'm just saying we could try it out again, lads. So anyway. Do you think Will's going to end up being a bit of a Brody hanger-oner? I don't. I've lost track of all their ages now. Well, so he's the same age as Liam, isn't he? Brody's alive. Older. Yeah, it was Mason that's dead. Yeah. Brody looks so much older than Will. Well, Brody is massively older, isn't he? But I think that's just the actor. I know, but the thing is, some children, like I said before about Hope, she looks young for her age. Whereas, but I think she only looks young for the age because she's played by an actress who's fairly close. But I looked young for my age. So there were girls at my school who looked like grown women, and there was me going, your little baby face while you're at school. Right, so Will's lurking about, and he's on the phone, and he's going, oh, there's a problem, the police have turned up, I'll call you back. Yeah, so he's talking to Megan there, clearly, but we don't know this. Megan the Stallion, I bet that's what her friends call her. I mean, we're just inferring, that this is even Will. Well,
it's not
we
obvious.
can't see the hair. Driscolls are with the police. Maggie finally gets Will's voicemail. Will sneaks round the back and finds Lily with the iPad watching the movie Volcano, which is not what she was supposed to be doing. And he tries to give her £20 to go and get his passport, but she snitches on him. And Eva and Ben come out and he runs away. And then Maggie grills Lily about what Will said. And Lily says, you didn't really say much. Maggie's really frustrated but she thinks he hasn't gone far. So they go looking for him. And then Eva has a little cry on the stairs having a look at a photo of her and Will on her phone, just to remind us that they knew each other before yesterday. Susie comes down and gives her a cuddle. And then...
So Rica's got nothing to say about this.
No, there's nothing to say about any of it.
It just happened.
This is
All
like
of
the
this happened.
squandering everything that they set up last week with this family being brilliant.
It was.
Don't
They were
have to
being
do
brilliant.
this again.
They were being brilliant. They were kind of warm and familial, and they were getting involved in other people's stories.
Yeah,
weren't
now they've
they?
just gone
and now it's like,
into
anyway, we've got a story about
We've
all
got
our
our own
bunch
story.
now.
We don't need your
don't need
stories.
everybody else here.
You're just going to send Maggie out to slag Roy off.
Yeah.
Come back in again. So Ben comes back later and Will comes in and a lady comes in. And we find out this lady is called Megan, who is the coach, who found him in the sports complex. Now, obviously, this is a lie.
This is the tale.
And she didn't tell anybody because she didn't want him to run away.
So how old are we saying Megan is?
I'm never speculate on a lady's weight or age, but she looks in her 20s.
When she came in behind Will, for a second, it looked like that they were similar ages. Later on, she was in the scene. It's like,
Not
I know
to me at all.
she's clearly older. But I would probably say this is going to be young 20s. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if she is the exact same age that old what's her face was. What was that her name was? Trisha was when she had it off with young Tim. So she's a trainee coach. I don't know.
No, women in their 20s can be presidents. Okay? So why can't she be a coach?
She can.
So they're just grateful that he's back, and Eva gives him a hug, and he gets his Helen off, and a hug from Maggie, and then Ben's like, I want a word with you, alone. And Will's like, I didn't want to leave Hull. And so Ben's saying, why did you want this passport, and what's this love letter? And Will's like, oh, that's ages ago. And then things start getting a bit heated, and Eva has to calm things down. And
is this that scene where
they are going to chat tomorrow?
This is the scene where they're all sitting around the massive table, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
This giant table.
Oh well, this is. I didn't actually. I must have written it somewhere else because obviously the big twist at the end of Wednesday's episode was Will sneaking out the back and having a bit of a snog with Megan.
Yeah.
I don't know where we'll find that in the notes later. I put it in the wrong place.
Probably in the wrong storyline.
Probably
isn't
is.
It? So yeah, he is trying to think of a way that's not going to get me in trouble. The coach is grooming him. He has got no idea.
I totally get it. I get it. It's a twist. And I think some people did watch this and go, "Oh wow, that's what a twist! I didn't see that coming. That's exciting." But yeah, for me, it just fell flat. It really did.
I know that they're going to tie it. I really think they're going to tie it back to Tim, right? But it does feel a bit like Ants and a Bug's Life. Like we don't need both of them, do we? They're both the same story.
I know.
And so
this is the worst episode
Friday,
of the podcast ever.
It's just so tedious. On Friday, Ben is still wanting to know what Will's plan with the passport was, but Maggie and Eva are like, don't, just leave him alone. Then Will is supposed to be going to school, and he manages to get rid of Ben because Ben's like wanting to, oh, you've got to go to school. Oh, don't want you to run back to Hull. And then Megan calls him, and she seems to have news that she wants to tell him later, right?
We didn't find out what that was, did we?
Oh, God.
I don't think we saw Megan later on this episode, no.
Right, so Liam and Will make friends, and they start skiving, end up at the back of the Rovers, start drinking beer that they're...
Lager.
Pouring into water bottles. And then Liam asks Will about this girl that he's seeing, and he's like, oh, it's a long distance thing, and my parents don't know about it. And Maggie comes in and catches them and tells them to stop drinking because they're going to get in trouble. And Liam's like, oh, I'm really sorry, I drank the beer, I'll pay for it. And
Lager.
she's...
So that's my only contribution to this.
Isn't lager beer like
I
the
don't
same
know.
thing?
I've got no idea, is it?
I don't know. Literally couldn't care less either. So I don't care about beer. So Maggie's like, right, okay, don't worry about it. You can stay for tea. So they have dinner around their enormous table, and Liam gets Susied by sassy Susie, who tells him she wants her name to be Vision, and she wants to have her own squad of cheerleaders.
I am going to say that I think they need to tone Susie down a little bit. I will say that.
Treasure.
I will say that. I kind of like her, but I think that she risks being a bit annoying. I'm sorry.
All right,
but this is what I think.
Well, I want to tell you that lager is a kind of beer.
Oh, well, there we go.
Case closed.
You learn something new every day.
Same.
Every single person listening to this episode is going
stupid,
like,
dumb
you idiot.
idiots.
Call yourself a man.
No, neither of us do. So,
Come on, we're nearly there.
Vision. Eva realises that the beer's been drunk, and it all comes out. And then Eva makes Liam phone Maria to tell him what she's done. And so Maria dispatches Kirk because Maria and Gary have gone to Hull for some drugs. I don't know where they've gone, but they're not at home. Kirk
I think they've
comes
gone
round.
for a drive-in movie of the Karate Kid. And Maria's
She's
going,
like,
oh, this one.
Do you
I
know
have
what?
seen this
I
before.
could have sworn his name was Mr. Magic. So Kirk ends up coming round, and he's like, I'm gonna. He gets into it, like you said with Eva, doesn't he? They have a little tiff because obviously Kirk is Maria's brother, and he's not too keen on what Eva got up to with Aiden. And then what happens? Oh, and then something happens with Kirk saying about Will's mum, and then they're like, oh, that's a touchy subject because she's not around anymore because of Eva. Like, what? Did Eva kill her and drown her in a fountain or something?
Well, yeah,
like she meant to do with Maria.
Kirk says, what does Will's mum think about this, doesn't he?
That's a weird comment.
Well, I don't know,
If you can clearly tell that you know that Eva's not his mum.
I am kind of...
What relevance is that? She's not here.
I am somewhat intrigued.
She could be dead.
I am somewhat intrigued as to the where the Will's mum is, because Eva and Will and all of the family seem to have a really, really super close relationship, don't they?
Well, for some reason they're all living together.
What do you mean? Why some reason?
Well, why is the mother-in-law and the son all living in the pub?
Well, Maggie's living there because she bought it. I didn't get the impression that she was living there before. She was like, "This is my pub. I'm going to move in here." And Eva doesn't like the sound of that. But I was kind of interested.
You don't have to live in a pub.
Maggie.
She's had somewhere to live before this, is what I'm trying to say.
Maggie seems to think that this old the ex Eva, the previous Mrs. Driscoll, was something a little bit more than Eva. Yeah. So
again, what we think's Eva and Ben had an affair.
It feels like it's a bit of a Jenny, Christina, Greg sort of situation, isn't it?
There's nothing it can be at the moment that I am that bothered about finding out. Sorry to say. So I don't know where I am again.
Oh, just the new broom.
Yeah, she's
Maggie,
the new
Maggie
broom.
calls her the new broom, doesn't she?
Maggie enjoys everything going wrong as Eva starts slagging Maria off in front of Kirk. Kirk leaves and Eva's like, "Don't bother coming back here, Liam, you bastard." And they're all like, "That's a bit harsh. What did he do to you?" And she's like, "Sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, Will." And Will's like, "No, I'm not in the mood. You're mad. You've made my life a hell already. I haven't got any friends now. Liam won't like me anymore. I'm sorry, but Liam's desperate for friends. You'll be fine, Will." And then he gets a message from Megan that perks him up.
Yes, I can't remember
Which must be the news that she mentioned.
I don't really remember what she said, but it doesn't particularly matter.
Well, we'll find out next week, and I'll be so excited.
Bring your passport, Will. I didn't want to feel so down about it, especially after last week we were mega enthused about this new family. Right. It's literally the Will focus that's done it for me this week.
To soften the blow a little bit here, and I'm sure that nobody really cares and is not crying that I don't like this, but it's the retelling of it sometimes makes things. I think it's the making of some stories, and other stories it just kind of
sometimes
makes it obvious it was just not that interesting.
Sometimes you have stories that we recount, we think, I didn't really enjoy that while we watched it, and then we retell it and we just kind of laugh over how silly and ridiculous it was, and then it ends up making us have a bit more of a fondness for it, but it didn't work here.
When you read out a story like, oh yeah, I remember that happened, this is probably one of the worst ones we've ever gone through.
This was very much an and then story, wasn't it?
But it's like it's all theoretical to me. You could tell me this could be a story about characters from EastEnders. Yeah. I don't know who any of them are really. I like Maggie and Ben, but if they're not careful, the shine will fade, because so far they have had really great entrance, and then last Friday was good with the Halloween party, and so far it's just been Ben's angry, and Will's missing. Okay.
Yeah, well, I think that Ben's temper. Last week I was really quite concerned that they were going down the Driscolls are an old crime syndicate family of Hull, and Ben is the leader, a chief teeth kicker inner. And we didn't get so much of that this week. We didn't really get any of that this week, but they really only needed to tease it last week, didn't they? But I just think that Ben, with his temper and his tough but fair parenting, I found quite refreshing, and I'm still finding Aaron McCusker very engaging to watch.
He's very charismatic.
I'd maybe like to see a bit more from the relationship side between him and Eva.
That's a good point.
Because we saw a bit of them kind of pincer moving Will when he got in there, but not learning as much about them as a couple.
I know that he does seem a bit two-dimensional still, Ben, because so far we just know he's got a temper. I do think it's good, because I think a lot of the hotheads of Corrie are aging out. Kevin is like the last man standing, isn't he? Used to be everyone was easy with their fists. The guy I'm kind of thinking of a lot is Owen.
I was just thinking of Owen, the alpha male type character that we don't really
don't mess around with me.
Yeah, we don't really have anyone quite like that. No, that's still kind
not
of
a goodie.
Yeah, he
supposedly.
To me, Ben is still very much a goodie kind of character, and I think that he fits in behind the Rovers bar really well. Seeing him and Eva there as the landlord and landlady, I'm very much buying that. Mm-hmm. But he's just got a little bit more, a bit more bulk and a little bit more presence, I suppose, because of this feeling that he could snap at any moment. I am thinking.
David
I think I'm enjoying that.
Needs to watch himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't need another enemy.
Yeah. There were a couple of other bits on here that I thought it was worth mentioning. But it's Maggie stuff again. The beginning, I think it was Monday's episode, and we mentioned this last week, didn't we? Because Pauline McLynn, in one of her other interviews, had said, I was offering a cup of tea to characters, and that's what happened on Monday, wasn't it? She went to the back. Who was it? Was it Eva and Leanne or somewhere in the back there?
Yeah.
Or Glenda?
They were at some point.
And she offers them a cup of tea, and the internet very much enjoyed that. And I also quite like the mini storyline I think it's again on Monday's episode, where Maggie gets put on the WhatsApp group for Coronation Street, the street chat group, and she's there going, "Who's this Gail that's still not left? What's going on with her?" And Rita. So that was. It was kind of funny, but it also didn't amount to much. But maybe this is the sort of thing you need on Coronation Street, isn't it? Little funny asides, and I think that's what this was.
What we want.
Yeah. So. Yeah, less good week for the Driscolls, but I'm in no way writing them off just because of this.
No, I'm not writing them off. Like I said before, plenty of characters have come in with a bit of a crap entrance. And I'm not. This is just.
Well, these came in with a good entrance. It's just
I'm talking about Will.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I'm not going to write him off because I didn't like the storyline, and I'm sorry I didn't like it, but I don't see anything interesting.
Well, hopefully for Will, there's a way forward.
I'm sure there is. I'm also not relishing this grooming storyline.
No.
At all.
It could be done well.
I'm sure it is, but I find it very uncomfortable, and it's not something that I'm interested in.
Sometimes I get the feeling on Coronation Street they're saying, well, we've run out of story. I know this isn't true, but I get the feeling, we've run out of storylines to tell with the characters that we got at the moment. Let's just bring in some new characters and have some stories with them, you know?
Wow.
I don't want to speculate.
We said before that we think there's a budgetary reason why they bring characters in and kind of like make them in the show for 2 years and then kind of don't, you know, then they fade to the background. It's not because they're strapped with cash that they've hired these 3 presumably quite expensive actors to come on the show. These are budget busters, these guys, I hope, for their sakes.
100% they are, yeah. But yeah, I can't see the storyline going much further. Maybe it's just because I'm not very creative or imaginative. Then it all comes out and then Megan gets shamed or arrested or kicked out of the school or something like that, and Will realises the error of his ways thanks to some sage advice from Tim, and then he ends up going out with Betsy. Or
can we just skip to that bit then? That's what it's going to be. I just don't.
So let's move on. Let's move on.
Next.
And I can't promise to be that much more inspired by this one.
I hope
this is the Back from the Dead story.
I hope I hope that was entertaining how annoyed I was. I kind of ham it up a bit for a joke. But I'm not really hamming it up.
I think if other people felt the same way as you, they might.
It can be really. I tell you what, it's really upsetting. Fans. It's really upsetting when you love something and then you're like, I can't wait to find out what so and so thinks, and you listen to a podcast about it and it's just crapping all over it for like an hour. That's depressing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not all over it. I enjoyed bits, but I knew it was coming.
You're not all over it.
No, I'm not bad mouthing it 100%.
Right,
so the Becky storyline. And again, Becky, Betsy, Lisa, Carla.
It's Becky, bitch.
Yes, she's back and she's shown up at their front door, or sometimes back door, just for a little change. But it does kind of feel like it's going round and round a little bit. And things are a little bit tense between Lisa and Carla. This is obviously post-Halloween snog. And and Lisa's saying, well, you know, Carla's saying, I bet you'd be with Becky still if she hadn't died. And Lisa's saying, yeah, it probably would be, actually. I know that people have complained a little bit about how the myth of Becky has changed, and we got a bit of a different impression of their relationship before she turned up.
What was she supposed to be doing? Slagging off her dead wife, being like, yeah, she was a bit of a downer, actually. Yeah,
she's going to be kind of bigged up and put on a pedestal a little bit, isn't she? If she died young in the line of duty. But...
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, Lisa's saying,
do you reckon she seems like the sort of person who doesn't like birthdays? She does, doesn't she?
Lisa says I probably would be with her if she hadn't died. Yeah, of course. But she did, and then you came along, and I'm with you now. And Carla's just like, sorry, I can't get over the fact that she kissed you last week. And yeah, Carla is just... She's being... surprisingly patient, to be honest.
It's so infuriating.
By the end of the week, I think if Carla had any mates, she should be telling her, they would be telling her, get out, this isn't worth it.
Well, I mean, Roy really should be telling her this. Abby's supposed to be moving out of Roy's. Why doesn't Carla move in? I wouldn't be in the same...
maybe she will.
Last time she left him alone, though, look what happened.
Well, yeah, I know.
It's so infuriating because Carla, like, specifically, this is jumping ahead a little bit, but Carla specifically said to her, I don't want Becky around anymore, tell her to get bent. And then the next time you see her, she's sleeping on the bloody sofa. How clear do you have to be? How disrespected are you going to continue to be in your own house?
But Carla was the one that said, well, you better have the sofa then, hadn't you?
It's just such utter rubbish, isn't it? Oh, Curtis's men were watching me from outside, so I went on the balcony. Sorry, what balcony are you talking about? Where do you think you are, Venice?
It's tricky with Carla because you can say you need to drop Lisa until she decides, but we're still kind of tied to the fact that we know that Carla and Lisa are going to stay together.
Well,
we know that they're going to get married.
A lot more about what Becky's getting up to. Like, we know that Becky's a villain. I guess they don't really, but...
Yeah.
How much more of a villain? I mean, honestly, I don't think Carla would care about all of this other stuff. Her main problem is that she's trying to steal Lisa. So So I don't think Carla would find it. I think Carla would probably think it was quite cool if she wasn't enemies with Becky, that she's into all this dodgy stuff.
I suppose as a viewer, I know that there's no way that Carla's going to, for the long term, decide, I can't be doing with this. Sorry, Lisa, I'm out of here. I'm going back to men. None of that's going to happen, is it? But really, at this stage, I'm kind of saying to her, Lisa,
it's not worth it.
There's too much aggro. It really, really is.
But you've forgotten the most important part.
Uncle Rai comes back on Mondays.
But where does he go? Where's he go?
What do you mean?
Where was he wanted in it today? Where'd he go? Why did he bother coming back for?
Bumming around the hotel, wasn't he? But yeah, very tanned. So I don't know what he's been doing over there in Ireland. But
they're allowed tanning beds in Ireland, It's probably quite a few.
He's been doing a little bit of that, hasn't he? Anyway, so he finds her in the factory and she's very, very on edge and they have a bit of a conversation. Carla, yeah. Then you got Becky come around the house again later and only Carla is there. And Carla says, your old life doesn't exist anymore. You and Lisa, you think you're just going to swan back in and get back to where it was. I'm sorry. Times have changed. Lisa has moved on. You're not part of her life anymore. And Becky's like, don't worry. It's just, you say you own this house. It's just paperwork. What me and Lisa have got is something much more special than that. And Carla's like, just sod off. She says, yeah, paperwork, just like your death certificate, whatever. So Becky says, Becky brings up again this kiss the other day, and she's kind of spinning the yarn that Lisa was the one who initiated it, isn't she? Which is clearly not true at all, but Carla's got no idea of this, and she's just doing it to wind her up.
She also winds her up.
I know that Lisa loved it as well.
By going, you got a husband somewhere alive, and don't you have a problem with alcohol?
This was when this happened,
She's got the gambling.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait till she finds out about the dead Polish worker. I really hope they bring that up.
If Becky found out about Kasia, that she would have a field day.
Because it would be a genuine thing that she could hold over Carla. Because at the moment, the leverage that she has is, I'm scared of Curtis. I don't understand why they. I don't understand why they care. Stop walking around with your face out, and then saying you're trying to hide and you're undercover and you're afraid. Why are you here in Weatherfield? Bugger off.
It feels like every 3-4 episodes or so, Becky has to mention it. Just has to be dropped into the script. I'm hiding out because everything that she's doing is going against. It's contrary to the idea that she's incognito.
It's so dumb because it's an easily solvable problem by not being where you are.
Yeah.
Walking around with not a disguise on.
No, exactly. But she wants Lisa back, doesn't she? So, what can you do? Right.
So, Carla confronts Lisa again, and Lisa's being really defensive.
I'm going to very openly say here, I just need to post the episode poll for tonight. So Gemma, take over the synopsising while I do this for our lovely Twitter hordes that are waiting for us.
So Lisa's like, okay, I am wearing a top that Becky bought me. I am wearing earrings that Becky bought me. And Carla's like, I think, look, just tell Becky to bugger off. So Becky and Lisa are together, and basically Lisa's saying, are you going to go? Have you booked a flight? And Becky says, yeah, and Betsy's coming with me. And then they start talking about the actual nitty gritty of how it's possible for Betsy to go and live in Spain.
Oh yes, they bring up the whole visa thing, don't they?
And Brexit. And passports.
Yeah, I've never heard Brexit be mentioned quite so often in Coronation Street as it was on Monday's episode.
And they're like, we're just going to get a visa.
They say they're going to she's going to be a waitress and then she'll have a visa. I mean, it works for me, but then I did see some people online later on saying, no, it doesn't actually work like
Nothing
that.
works like this. Nothing works like anything that's happening.
But Betsy's still under the delusion as well that the whole family can move over there and live a happy, conjoined, co-parenting Dee Dee Michael style life, aren't they?
Oh yeah, what happened to that?
Yeah, and Carla as well. And Carla's like, no, I'm not going. This isn't the life for me. I'm sorry, that's not happening. And later on, Carla's clearly a little bit worried that Lisa might end up following Betsy to Spain. But Lisa says, I am not going anywhere. Please don't worry about it. Poor old Lisa.
She's like, just you can't just go to Spain, Carla, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Wednesday comes round and Carla and Lisa are still worried about Betsy and what's she going to do about the whole Spain situation.
I thought
Is she going
Spain
to go there?
was crying out for people that refuse to learn Spanish, who want to live there and not have a job.
Well, apparently.
I thought they were begging on their knees for people to come in and do that.
Carla says, look, we're going to put Betsy first. Nothing is going to break us, though. And the number... I suppose that's why she hasn't given her the whole heave-ho, because she is in very deep there.
Okay.
Betsy comes to see Carla in the factory later, clearly having cooled off a little bit more after the whole Spain debacle. And she tries to sweet talk her into having a couple of months in Spain. She's like, oh yeah, why don't you just come over for a little bit, try it out.
Oh, Sarah can just run the business.
Anybody in Coronation Street can just go away to Spain for a few months and nobody really minds. It's absolutely fine. It's bog standard, isn't it?
I think Betsy should use the argument like, well, you could spend a few months in hospital with a broken kidney. Why can't you spend a few months in Spain with a fine kidney?
Exactly. Carla is she has her arm slightly twisted, doesn't she, and says, well, maybe we should try Spain out. It's been ages since we felt the sun on her back. We could go over to Spain. Betsy could spend a little bit of quality time with her mum. I think that Carla is being very good in that.
Carla's bent over backwards for these people.
Yeah, she is, and
it
shows how much she cares about
Lisa
Betsy.
and Betsy.
Betsy for sure, because she is totally considering Betsy as a daughter that she never had type person, isn't she? I don't think she ever wanted a child necessarily, but she's definitely all bought in on we are a family together, and she's not just abandoning Betsy just because of her mum turning up.
Because her mum's a skank.
Yeah. And Lisa's like, well, yeah, okay, we could maybe do that. So then we get to see Betsy meeting Becky in the precinct, and Becky is not happy whatsoever in the slightest that Carla is coming along too. And
but she can't let on.
No, exactly. She has to kind of go down the route of wondering out loud, oh, I always thought Carla's a little bit volatile, isn't she? She's a little bit toxic. And Betsy says, no, she's fine. Everyone has their moments. Carla was really good to me when you were dead. She's absolutely cool. It's going to be fine. Betsy is just being very... Do you think she's being a bit too naive about it?
She is. I saw her fashion homework. So I think she's operating
she just
on a different system.
She doesn't seem to get what's really clearly, obviously going on that everybody else notices, does she?
No,
but that's...
she is a kid.
She is... No, well, she's 18, but...
Right, she is a woman.
I think it's probably natural that she's siding with her mum still after this time away. Becky mum.
Yeah.
You don't. I suppose you don't always notice if your parents aren't making the right decisions, because often you will. Some people think don't think so highly of their parents, but a lot of people think that their parents are these figures that they put on a pedestal and they can do no wrong. And even more so in this case because she's returned from the dead.
This is the kind of age where you start to realise your parents are actually people.
Yeah, and I feel really bad for Betsy when the grand denouement of Becky comes, because she's built up this character. She's almost like hero worshipping her, isn't she? And eventually Betsy is clearly going to realise, oh, my mum's been playing us all along. She's been... It depends what they end up doing with Becky as well, because the end of Friday's episode, it looks like she might be coming to kidnap Costello's daughter or something, don't you think? Did you get those vibes from her social media stalking? And I feel super bad for Betsy in this, realising that her mum is a bit of a nasty piece of work.
I like to imagine that Becky and Costello were like send PX friends, and then she got a job working at the police because she loves them so much, and they got these hilarious, brilliant captions.
Yeah, maybe. What goes on next? Betsy comes home to see Carla and Lisa on the sofa, and they want to talk to her about Spain, but she's like, oh, I'm a little bit Spained out at the moment. Let's talk about it another day. And then this is where my notes then turn into what's been going on with Ben and Maggie and Will. But anyway, that's for another storyline.
Don't
We've already
ever
covered
talk about it.
No. So, this is just like the worst. I'm very sorry. I just want to put an apology out to all our listeners for the poor quality of this podcast.
Why is this poor quality? This is what happened.
It's not our fault. It's not our fault.
The trouble is, like I said, the Will stuff was not...
next thing. Becky ignores a call from Becky.
Yeah, that's
I can't get on with this. Costello says to Becky today, you've been here 2 months and you've still not been able to sort this. Well, Becky's been on the show for 2 months and I am still, at a fairly consistent rate, writing Becky for Betsy, because on the number of times I've had to change it during the week and still some of them sneak into my published notes.
What do you think of a nickname? The trouble is that the Will stuff didn't like, and this story is like last week's notes, because it's Becky's lurking, Carla doesn't like her, Lisa's oblivious, Betsy wants to go to Spain.
Yeah. Well, going into today's episode, we'd seen the
there's a bit more. There's something more interesting happens.
Yeah, we'd seen the publicity picture of Becky and Costello having a good old lurk in Villains Alley, hadn't we?
I don't know if I'd seen that one.
Yeah, I think I'd shown you that.
Why? Why did you show it to me?
I can't remember, but I thought I had.
They all look the same.
And I was kind of thinking...
There's about 1 million pictures. They must have done a photo shoot.
No, this one doesn't, because it was a dark one.
Oh, yeah.
It's different. It makes it
very
dramatically different. And I was thinking, is this going to be a big kick up the bum for the story? And we did get to learn a few things when it happened, but maybe not so much.
What we learned wasn't even that interesting. It was just like the most basic thing that could have happened. Yeah, but it's like what you think happened is what actually happened.
Or maybe you built it up too big inside your head because it was actually...
Well, they made a mystery out of it, and then they went, it was just this. And you're like, okay, all right then.
Well, they also, I suppose, change in pace today comes with the news that definitely if Lisa marries Carla, she will be willingly, voluntarily, knowingly, committing bigamy here. And she tries to talk to Costello about, what can we do about this? And he says, look, your best bet is to get Becky go back to Spain straight away and pretend that you've got no idea that she's still alive and hope that nobody finds out.
This is so annoying.
Why?
It just is so annoying. It just really is. Becky's causing so much trouble and everyone's bending over backwards for her. See,
Becky, in order for the divorce to happen, I can't remember what the law of this is now. Does Becky have to agree to it?
I don't know.
Or is there a certain amount of time that you can be estranged and it's a lot quicker? I've got a feeling that there's been some changes in the law these past few years.
Look, this is like so far out of anything I know. I haven't been planning to divorce you at all.
I think that what can only happen here is that
Becky's going to die.
Is going to die. I don't see how Becky comes out of this storyline alive, really. It's just a case of how and when, and is the answer during the crossover? Quite possibly. That's my speculation there. But anyway, Carla and Lisa have got a wedding dress meeting today, haven't they? Because Carla's realised she hasn't cancelled it, what with all the other drama going on. And Lisa's like, no, it's all right, you just go ahead and do it. But when Lisa comes to the meeting, she has to pull Carla away and say, look, love, I'm really sorry, but I don't think that we can get married. It's bigamy. I don't want to be committing a crime here. I'm really sorry. I just don't think we can get married. Oh no.
And she says Becky can't come out of hiding for a quickie divorce either. Really? Well, she can come out of hiding for a bloody Halloween party. What do you mean?
Get your priorities straight.
So these goons that Curtis, first of all, the insinuation at the end of Friday is that they know she's there, right? And they're looking around for her. Just get divorced. Where do you write this down? Can you look up if someone's got divorced? Do they publish it in the papers? How would this be public information?
Can you imagine that?
Have they got
the births, deaths, weddings, obituaries, divorce column?
I don't know. Is there like an evil judge that works for Curtis who only does divorces and he's just waiting there to see if Becky Swain comes up? What are they talking about?
I don't know.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
Well, Carla is really quite peeved at this, isn't she?
Well, so would I be.
Well, she's like, you're just trying to buy yourself more time to see who you want to be with.
I don't think that's fair.
Oh, no, I think that was a bit harsh. That was... But
Well,
equally, I think that
yeah.
Carla is probably really, really annoyed, and she's being a bit defensive about it.
Well,
and
at a certain point,
deflecting.
you've got to say, what are you doing this for? Why are you taking her side on everything and enabling her? They're just enabling this woman.
I think Lisa has made it clear enough now that she does not want to get back with Becky.
But she's making it so easy for Becky to terrorise this whole family. She's just making it so easy.
Yeah.
Every time Becky wants anything, Lisa's like, okay, well, Carla won't like it.
Because she's thinking of her daughter as well, though. That's the difficulty. I think if Betsy wasn't on the table here, if she wasn't a player in this game, then it would be a lot easier for Lisa to kick Becky to the curb.
Well, at the end of the episode, near the end of the episode, Becky does say to her, we've always got Betsy. And this is a big... If I'm Carla, I'm really you can't ever get rid of Becky. It doesn't matter whether she runs back off to Spain and pretends to be dead again. There will always be another person in this relationship because of Betsy.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And how close Betsy and Carla have grown, I don't see how Carla could expect Betsy to hide this part of her life, even if she wanted her to.
No.
And I don't think she'd ask her to, just don't talk to me about your mum. And Betsy doesn't seem very... She seems a bit naive, like I said, about how much Carla really is stoked about this whole thing.
I know, it's funny. There's a couple of other scenes where not a whole lot happens. Let's cut to this.
We get to see the wedding dress design that will never be worn by anybody.
I think it will. I think it might...
No way.
Why?
They normally show a design and then they don't ever use that design. It will be a surprise.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's my prediction.
This alley lurking scene then. So this is Costello telling Becky that he's booked her a one-way ticket to Alicante tomorrow, and she's like, nope, sorry, Gov, I'm not going anywhere without my family. And she's I said, if you don't disappear again, I'll make sure you really are dead. Basically, I still don't find him as threatening as maybe he should be.
Well, it's because
she's not supposed
scared.
to come across as threatening.
It's because she's not scared of him at all, and she's just like being a cheeky chappy, isn't she?
Yeah, you're right, actually. And then we get a little bit of lore dump, don't we? So we had to rewind this a couple of times. I don't know whether it was disinterest or whether they just explained it in a little bit of a confusing way. But basically, what we find out is that Costello had Tia killed, and she was a bit of a petty criminal, wasn't she?
She was a cat fiend.
A cat fiend, that's it. So he had her killed off by the Radcliffes. They were the ones who
ran her over.
It was... Does that tie in with everything that we'd learned about before?
But why did they agree to kill a cop?
Well, I guess it was...
what has it benefited them?
Well, I imagine that they'd been up to a bit of naughty business, and Costello says, I will get you off of this, but you've got to kill...
If you go down for killing a cop, do you know how you get treated in prison if you killed a cop?
Yeah, but
by the guards.
But they didn't get sent down for that, did they?
Oh God, I don't even remember.
No, they're in prison at the moment for Mason's death.
So
nobody knows that they killed a cop at the moment.
Yeah, but what? So pretend you killed Tia Wardley, but don't tell anybody you did it.
I don't know. I don't bloody know.
So the only reason we know about Tia is that Logan told Carla.
Yeah.
To look her up.
Yeah.
So why did he bring it up then? It doesn't make any sense.
We're getting closer to the truth here, but I'm that's too tired for coming up with.
Don't think about it too hard because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So Radcliffe's killed off Tia
for Costello. And Becky didn't know. She thought it was the Radcliffe's idea or that it was an accident.
Yeah,
she didn't know that Costello.
This was a bit of a revelation to her, wasn't it? Exactly.
But she's still not scared of him.
But she was still obviously very complicit in her being whisked off to Spain.
Well, she said it was her idea. Yeah, all of this was her idea. They just needed a dead person. And Costello's like, I'm the corpse provider.
Yes, exactly. And she's saying, well, look, I took all the risks here. He said, you swanned off to Spain after that and you left me to deal with all the mess that was involved in getting you there. And she points out that he must have got an awful lot of money for this, which he calls compensation for his credibility and his career. Now his wife thinks that he's depressed with everything that's going on.
He puts hashtag weekend vibes, hashtag sunny on his Instagram post.
Yeah, he does hashtag happy, doesn't he?
Yeah, so
maybe he just needs to show Mrs. Costello that.
Needs to follow him on social media.
Yeah, find out that everything's okay.
So they ripped off Curtis. Curtis. No. Yes, they did.
Becky says she ripped off Curtis. I don't think that Costello was anything to do with this.
Where did Costello get his money from then? He got the money. He kept the money.
Oh, was that right? Okay.
I think Costello and Becky
was that obvious, or are we just being thick here?
Ripped Curtis off. She was undercover working in Curtis's gang. She ripped him off, and Costello and Becky were in it together. Then Becky's like, right, I need to disappear. I'll probably split the money with you or whatever. I need to go to Spain, pretend to be dead. And Costello's like, here's a corpse.
Right.
And now he's like, I made the corpse myself out of a woman.
Exactly. Basically, what it all boils down to, he's saying, you're going back to Spain, Lisa or no Lisa. You've had 2 months to get her back. It's clearly not working. But Becky is standing her ground saying, no, I'm just been reacquainted with my estranged daughter. I am not leaving without her. It's a little bit like your daughter, Lainey. Isn't that her name? And he's kind of shaken a little bit to find out that she knows a bit more about his family than he'd realised, which is a bit odd considering that they had been colleagues together, and you might have thought that Lainey would have been brought up in conversation, but maybe he doesn't talk about the family when he's at work.
Here's another question. How much money could this have been, right? That number one, it's enough for them to risk as much as they have done. Number two, it's enough money to keep Becky completely comfortable, loaded in Spain for 4 years without having to work, with a lovely balcony in Alicante. But it's not so much money that Mrs. Costello hasn't noticed that they're suddenly rich.
Yeah.
Why has Costello stolen this money? Is there going to be some horrible reason? Has Lainey got some horrible disease that he needs the money for the hashtag weekend vibes?
I don't know.
Because that's the only way this is going to shake out for him as being a sympathetic character.
I think he's definitely gone a bit too far now.
How has he risked everything for money, but nobody knows he's got... What's the point of it? What's he just bunged it in an ISA or something?
Yeah. Anyway, look, Becky, I'm still Betty doing it. Becky seems to leave this heated confrontation on top, doesn't she? She's like, I'm running this operation, and he's like, well, look, I'll give you a week.
Stop booking tickets, Costello. You don't have the cash.
Do you imagine anything's going to happen in a week?
No.
Because quite often they'll give deadlines. Look at Tracy blackmailing Carl. Look at the German mafia, whoever they are, blackmailing Carl, which he's still getting away with.
What's the other one? Who's the one that he's on at with the MOTs? What's her name?
Oh, yeah. Fiona.
Bloody hell. All these people, they're boring little gangs.
It really is, isn't it?
So how many gangs are going? We've got a German gang. We've got Curtis's gang. We've got this Emmerdale gang that we presume are up to something in Hull. And then we've got, who have I said? Curtis. We had Logan, the Radcliffes. We've got bloody, what's his face? Harvey. We had the one who died.
Mason.
No, the one who had the gun, who got killed by Sarah and Kylie.
Callum?
Yeah.
That was ages ago.
I know it was, Michael, but that doesn't mean... Here's another thing. Gemma was involved in all these gangs when she was at the Dog and Gun. I bet the Dog and Gun gets brought up at some point as being Curtis's evil lair.
Oh, yeah, probably. Anyway, look, let's race to the end of
this. I know,
but
if it would make sense if there was some kind of, like, logic and maybe some kind of, like... A power vacuum appeared when Callum was killed, and then Curtis and who's the other one we just said? Harvey were kind of like fighting it out, and now Curtis is dead, and now Harvey's the kingpin.
It's so
boring. It is really boring,
isn't it?
And
really, really is.
This was even when we watched the Bill. Even that was boring in the Bill, and that was about police officers.
Yeah. Anyway, look. Lisa brings Becky's death certificate to show Carla, and that was quite an interesting thing to pause on. We got to look at that. 1980 she was born, so she's only a few years older than us. And
Becky Falconer was her birth name, and Lisa's called Lisa Caroline Swain.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that she is Becky Falconer and she is now preying on Carla and Lisa. So
Rebecca Falconer. Sounds like a romance novelist.
She's trying to get her talons in, isn't she? Carla says, look, if you're telling me that you're into me and you're not going out, you're not going to go swanning off and disappearing over the hill and far away with old Becky, let's get married then. I know that it's bigamy, but let's do it. Let's get married.
I can't commit crimes.
And pack your bags, basically, or take me down the aisle.
She's saying, I want some commitment from you.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because Carla would know that. How much commitment is it? Knowingly, bigamously marrying somebody, because you can just say, well, we're not actually legally married, so I'm going.
It's interesting from Lisa's perspective as well, because she lived as a gay woman in a relationship at a time when she couldn't get married.
Yeah.
So she obviously really values like the freedom that she had to marry the person she loved the most. So she can never say to Carla, like, it doesn't matter if we're married or not, because she obviously understands the value of being married. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I would have thought it would have been an easy out for this character of Lisa to say, look, darling, we are committed. We don't need a bit of paper. But she's not saying that. She gets it, but she's not showing or doing anything to further the goal of showing Carla she's committed to her. Because at the end of the episode, bloody Becky's on the bloody sodding sofa again.
Lisa tries to get rid of Becky, doesn't she? They have this chat on the street, and Becky's there with her bag of whatever
camouflage
it is
jeans
for
she should put on herself.
Betsy, but then Becky. Clearly, she's not being hunted down by Curtis's goons, is she? It's just the latest ruse that they fall for, hook, line and sinker.
She knocks on the door of the orangery. So they haven't locked their back door, which, mistake. But her story is like, she was running around the back and then she climbed up the side of the wall, along the balcony, which doesn't exist, and then landed in their garden like some kind of, like, Tom Cruise character.
I think probably Carla doesn't believe her, but I don't think she's got any fight left in her on Friday evening. She just wants to go to bed.
How noble is
she's
Carla?
She's just like, fine, sleep on the sofa, whatever, I'm getting out of here.
Honestly, am I a terrible person? Because I'd be like, look, I don't care if you die. Just go away. You're not my problem. Why are you making this my problem?
I think it is partly to do with Carla thinking about Betsy.
Yeah. I forgot she's got human emotions.
Yeah.
Not like me.
Then we had that scene at the late night one where Becky's there on the laptop and Carla goes up and tells her about, you better put those headphones back on because it gets a squeaky mattress. Do you think that she knocks on Betsy's door and says the same thing?
Here's some headphones.
You got your AirPods in, Betsy, because me and your man were just about to hit the springs.
Yeah. So but I did like Becky just sitting there like perving on Costello and his kid, and then Carla comes and sits next to her and she doesn't even know she's there. No wonder she's in mortal danger from Curtis's goons. She's got no like spatial awareness at all.
I liked the jump. I thought that was good reaction.
Acting.
Good acting, Amy Cudden. Anyway, yeah, she's stalking Costello and his
Costello,
bespectacled daughter, who
looks like a right cherub. It would be a shame if something happened.
It's a shame if somebody kidnapped her, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
she got kidnapped by a dead woman.
Just imagine, honestly, the way that Lisa is with Becky. Next week, Becky's going to turn up with Lainey tied up and gagged and be like, "Oh, this is just one of Curtis's goons. I've got to keep them because they're going to murder me if I release this." And she'll be like, "Oh God, all right, yeah, makes sense. I guess you can use my bedroom. I'll sleep on the sofa if you need a cell." Yeah. What is she doing? Anyway,
I do wonder when this story is going to get a proper break. If Costello has given, because when he was saying to Becky today, you need to go to Spain, I did wonder, like, is she actually going to go to Spain? Are they going to put this story on ice for a few months?
She should just go to Spain. How many? Imagine
maybe I'll miss it. I don't know.
If you're the actor for Costello, like. You've had the same script for about a month now. I meet with Becky in the alley and tell her to go to Spain. I meet with Lisa and tell her that there's nothing I can do and that Becky's back from the dead.
Yeah. But, you know, he's he got a proper cast photo on his
Instagram
today, so it looks like we might be seeing a little bit more of old Jerome in the time.
I'd quite like to keep him. I think he's great.
I don't think that he's going to be coming out the other side of this story.
But what about Lainey?
Still smelling her roses, is he?
What about that beautiful daughter?
Oh yes, let's
of
have
his?
Lainey as another child on the street. Why don't we?
I wonder if she's a precocious cheerleader. Right, Battle of the Bitches. On Monday...
what was your kind of... Because I this is another one that I went back and forth on a little bit. It's clearly rinse and repeat, recycle in slightly different guises each time, isn't it? So I think it sometimes just comes down to the quality of the script as to how into Tracy sniping at Cassie I can really get. Are you enjoying it, or is it getting a bit old for you?
It's okay. It's not... I tell you what got old was Tracy versus Carla.
It's funny watching it though, because it feels like me and you are the only people in the entire Corrie watching fandom that kind of like Cassie.
Really? I love her.
I know. And we're going like, yeah, because the story's being written with Cassie coming out on top, isn't she? She's getting one over Tracy like time and time again.
The stuffy cow who hates fun.
Yeah, and is clearly being a not that great daughter to Ken and taking him for granted. And Cassie's getting the last laugh every time. So we're kind of watching it going, well done, Cassie, you got her there. But I think I can imagine being one of the many anti-Cassie watchers going, why does she keep on winning? She poisoned Ken. And
it was just a joke.
I just...
It was just high spirits.
It's just one of those things that I know I haven't got a really good explanation for, but I'm just like, yeah, she was trying to poison Ken. Move on.
She wasn't
just
trying to poison Ken. She was trying to be needed.
Yeah.
She's misunderstood.
Go on then.
Just like Gypsy Rose's mum.
What's been going on here with those two?
On Monday, Cassie's on the phone to Steve in Spain, and she's on the phone to a guy... And she works out it's Tim crank calling her. Then Tracy opens a parcel for Ken, which is some wine from Cassie, because Cassie drunk this bottle from Ken and Deirdre's first wedding, and didn't realise it was, sentimental. And Tracy's annoyed that she's managed to wriggle off the hook for doing this, and she goes to see Cassie and tells her to leave her dad alone and stop trying to make up for poisoning him that time. And she also, when Cassie's not watching, unplugs the phone because Cassie's working on the switch in the taxi firm. And so when Tim gets back, they're both surprised there haven't been any calls at all. And they find the phone has been unplugged. Cassie realises it was Tracy. And Tracy says he's going to talk to her, but Cassie's teasing him because he seems a bit scared.
No, Tim says he's going to talk to her, yeah.
I thought that's what I said, sorry.
Okay.
Tim goes and talks to her and comes back and says, she said she didn't unplug it. And Cassie's like, well, I think she did, but maybe I should have noticed. So she goes back home to bicker with Tracy. And Cassie teases her and goes, I know you want Stevie back. And Tracy's like, nope, you're just trying to make me jealous. This is my mother's house. I grew up here and you're not welcome. And they just kind of like carry on sniping through Wednesday over breakfast, and
Ken's plastic fruit.
Oh my god!
Come on, front and centre of the screen. I've never seen such clearly artificial.
When you go on the set, you will see things look so much fake in real life than they do.
Yeah,
on
if you
screen.
go there, it's really clearly and obvious. But usually they do a fairly good job of hiding it or having it slightly out of focus. But that orange, it's honestly,
like, what should we do with this giant plastic orange? Let's put it in the middle of the screen so everyone knows that it's not real. And he's supposed to be a vegetarian. What's he eat? Wax fruit. So. Cassie tells Tracy to get a wiggle on with the divorce, but Tracy is in no mood to rush things for her convenience. And Ken comes downstairs, he's looking very ill, so Cassie calls the medical centre and they get him an appointment and they're going to give him a flu jab and everything.
Why has Dr. Gaddis only been in like 2 episodes so far this year? I've not looked, but it feels like it's not
because
much
everyone
more
said
than
they didn't like medical things and she took it personally. So she tells Tracy to make sure that she takes him on time and makes a big deal about how she's better at looking after Ken than Tracy is. And when...
Apart from the whole poisoning thing.
Yeah.
But she is sorry. Tracy is very selfish. And because Tracy's there going, oh, yeah, he doesn't really need it, does he?
What?
He doesn't need to go to the medical centre.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean,
Tracy's just anything for an easy life for herself.
But it's also... Yeah, okay, well, so...
Cassie's playing into her hands. So she's playing into Cassie's hands.
Tracy tells Cassie later, Ken's having tests done and everything. We should really pull together, look after Ken while we've still got him. Let's have a truce. And Cassie's very suspicious, but she's sick of fighting. And Tracy says, look, Ken's care comes down to me, but I'm going to be Brassic after Steve takes me to the cleaners in the divorce. And Cassie sees that she's using Ken to try to blackmail Cassie. And she doesn't like it.
Of course.
Tracy then decides to drink this posh bottle of wine that Cassie's bought Ken. And when she comes home, Cassie finds her asleep, drunk. And so she sets fire to the tablecloth and immediately wakes Tracy up, going, "Oh my God, you could have set the place on fire! Candles!
That was
candles
the sort of
burning."
thing. That was the sort of thing where, like, the Cassie haters are going, "This is what is she doing, the cow?" And I was just like, yeah.
Well, it's funny.
You show her, Cassie.
It is funny because when Tracy had the feud with Carla, she did a much worse version of this when she basically burned down the flat with Carla and Amy in it.
But that was accidental, though, wasn't it?
She went there to kill her and then changed her mind and nearly killed her anyway.
Yeah.
She accidentally set fire to the flats, and that's what killed Cal and Maddie. Mm-hmm. And she's still not got in trouble over that either. So Cassie calls Tracy a great lush and says, "You're supposed to be looking after Ken, not setting fire to the house and being drunk." And then Ken starts coughing from upstairs. So Cassie sends Tracy up to see him and feels very proud of herself for having caused all this chaos. And when Ken comes down, Cassie's hoovering and she's made him a nice egg butty. And
yeah, this is who the person was that I was thinking of earlier that was, I'm not saying that nice egg butties are the epitome of haute cuisine or anything. But,
making food.
Yeah, it sounds
it up.
like Cassie can throw something together at least.
Could you make an egg butty?
I might be able to give it a shot.
So when Ken's downstairs and Cassie starts going, "Oh, where's the tablecloth? Oh, where'd it go?" And Tracy's like, yeah, all right, maybe I did cause a fire because I was drunk. And Cassie's like, cool, laying it on thick and everything and saying she rescued everybody. And Tracy has to admit to Ken and Cassie that her divorce lawyers dropped her because she doesn't have the money to pay for him. And Cassie's gloating and says, "Well, just sign the conditional order then," which gives Steve a share of the shop. And Tracy says, "I will stay married to Steve forever if I can keep my shop." This is just going to end with them agreeing to keep their businesses, isn't it?
Probably. This is another one that feels like it's been dragging out for far too long, far much longer
than
you feel it needs to.
Yeah, but this is probably not like a normal amount of time. Whereas when they speed things up, we'll go, "Oh my God, that will never happen so quickly." And when they do it to a normal time scale, we're like, "No, boring. Why is it taking so long to get divorced?" Yeah,
they do need
to... You can't win Coronation.
They do need to shake the story up a little bit, though, because it is basically the same scene with a slightly different script each time, isn't it?
This week was the same old stuff, except Will went missing. And Will was missing, I hate to tell you this, for 65 years of the show already. And I didn't miss him once.
Right, what's Debbie been up to this week then? So Carl's still trying to get his claws into her and the hotel, isn't he? And saying to her, "Look, I think mate, I want to get you business accounts. I can help you out with that." And Debbie's like, "No, I haven't decayed that much actually. Thank you very much. I can still keep control of most of this." So Carl has to hatch some sort of plan to get his hands on them.
Wouldn't you? I don't understand why you wouldn't just let him go on it though. I know why she shouldn't, but if he's your brother, what's on there that's secret?
I don't think it's that it's secret.
I know, but what's she scared of? Like,
just good business sense, isn't it?
But what is it? What is it though?
And I think that maybe
What's the business account?
I think that she's probably good with the figures and that side of things, and she's saying, "Well, no, this is still the thing that I want to be in control of. If I give up control of everything,
I just think,
including the things that I'm actually pretty good at, then what hope have I got?"
My point is really that access to her business accounts doesn't really mean anything, does it?
Well, she, after a little conversation with Glenda, Carla, where'd that come from? Debbie then goes back to the hotel and says to Carla, no, honestly, I'm gonna sort out the finances. You focus on the day-to-day stuff. And he's like, oh shoot, I was so close there.
But the Germans.
But he certainly makes way forward on Wednesday with this, doesn't he? Because he's there kind of sowing the seeds first with, who does he talk to? Is it Ronnie? Kind of saying that you need to tell Debbie that
she should go on holiday.
She should go on holiday, because I've tried to get her on and she's not interested, but she might like the idea coming from you.
Tell her that you're doing a business trip.
Yeah,
to taste wine.
It does the trick, because Carla keeps trying to sneak into this story, and I tell you.
It's like, I'm fed up with Betsy's and Becky's and...
Can I be in your story just to have a bit of a breather, please? Carl finds Debbie looking at Italian holidays later, and she's quite excited. She's like, oh yeah, Ronnie says that we could make it a bit of a business trip. Basically, all of this sneakiness that Carl has sown into Ronnie is now coming out of Debbie's mouth. It couldn't have gone any more hunky-dory for her.
Oh, hunky-dory.
Even
good old
more so
when
she tells him that she's going to be back in a Seki Weki
to
go and help Raphael rescue kill a spider. No, what was it? Oh, it was some sultanas on the floor, and he thought that it was an ant. He thought it was mouse droppings. I thought
it was to put down a dog.
What?
No.
Anyway, Carl gets left with her laptop, and when she comes back, we find that he has booked her this holiday, but is telling her, oh no, don't you remember, you booked this before you went off. The cad,
oh my god,
what a git that man is. I mean, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest, but she falls for it, doesn't she? It's like, oh my gosh, I'm losing it here. So he gets her to persuade. So he gets her to talk to Ronnie and open up about how bad she's getting, which she isn't in the slightest. It's all Carl's manipulations.
Break him in half.
Yes, me too. She says, look, I think...
Set Raphael on
because she has this really sad heart-to-heart with Ronnie, doesn't she? Saying, look, I think I must have had another TIA in my sleep. And Ronnie's there giving her a hug.
Look, I know we give...
Such an arse is Carl.
Ronnie crap because he's a bit of a boring guy. But he's the only person who's been on her side.
Yeah, 100%.
He hasn't let her down like the rest of her family have. For various reasons. But we need to give Ronnie a big double thumbs up for being the person who is on Debbie's side forever.
Yeah,
I love how much he loves her, and she loves him back, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
that's what I say about that.
By the end of Wednesday's episode, Carl is still trying to get Debbie to give him access to the business accounts after everything that she's just said as well. And she's like, no, it's all right, actually. I can still keep a handle on that.
And that's it.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any further with that.
No, nothing more goes on with that. There's just a couple of scenes with Kevin and Abby on Friday, isn't there?
We don't even see Ryan again on Friday.
No.
Why is... It doesn't... Oh. Wait...
What?
It's just crazy, isn't it? Because he's supposed to live there, isn't he? In the Swain house.
I can't remember.
And then Becky's like going, "Oh, somebody chase me." It's a good job Ryan's not here because he would beat them up. He's such a manly man.
So Jack's gone off somewhere. I don't think we need really a reason for Jack not to be on the show,
Jack's
considering
playing
how
on
rare
his
his appearances are. But anyway, he's there going off on holiday, and he leaves Kevin a voice message to saying, I hope you're not just sitting in front of the TV watching crisps, when that's what Kevin is doing. Having a good old mooch.
What mobile phone does Kevin have? Because that audio was crisp.
And he ends up going to the pub and chatting with Ben, and then he hears that Abby is getting a lease on the flat because she is moving out of Roy's and she's moving into the precinct. According to tonight's script, anyway.
Be careful of all the criminals. This is Lauren's old flat, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, that's what's going in there. So I guess we'll see Abby maybe move in next week because things move fast in Weatherfield and in all things property. Next, Gemma, powering on through what's been going on in the old Dobbs household on Friday. We find the identity of the mystery texting troller.
Everybody who said it was Ruby, give yourself a pat on the back or a clap on the back if you'd rather.
But all the people who inspired last week's clickbait article, which was Coronation Street fans work out who Hope's troll is, and it's not Ruby. Wow.
Who was it then? Who did they think it was?
I can't remember who they thought it was.
Listen to the other episode to find out more. So, Ruby wants a new phone because her old one is clapped, which she says is being crap. It's crapped.
Is this what people say, or did Coronation Street make it up? I've literally never heard that expression before.
I thought it just sounded like a very standard thing that people might say.
Have you heard? It's clapped.
Yeah, I've heard clapped out, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I guess it comes from there.
That's what I thought. It was just like, I thought, oh, what a charming northern phrase.
Yeah.
But apparently only
her
Ruby...
Her phone is totally not 6'7", is it?
No. This is what I was like, it's really funny that this is what catches her out. She's just like the Unabomber who was caught out by using the phrase about having your cake and eating it too. But he said something like, eat your cake. He said, eat your cake and have it too. And then they printed it and his brother read it and went, the only two people I know in the whole world who get that wrong are my mum and my brother. And I don't think my mum's the Unabomber, but I'm pretty sure my brother is. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure that's the phrasing. But that so what do Ruby and the Unabomber have in common? They both give themselves away with their use of obscure slang.
Well, it's only obscure to Tyrone because he's never heard it before.
Well, Ruby insists it's like a very common thing, but I don't know.
I liked seeing Tyrone on his PlayStation 4 today, but the music in the back, the sound effects are... It was proper vintage Coronation Street video game sound effects. It was pew, 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 which they used to use. It's literally the same sound effect that they used about 20 years ago.
Used to get mad about
I'm pretty sure that Tyrone probably, when he first came into the show and on his Game Boy, they used the exact same. But, maybe he was just doing a bit of retro gaming.
He was killing robots.
I know, come on. Was that a jam?
I don't know, but I don't think so. But it's like the Corrie writers, what do they do?
We kill
Hang
robots.
on, you don't know. This might be the latest thing.
Maybe.
Didn't you kill robots in... No.
I have killed robots in video games before, but it was...
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, I don't think they quite understand.
It's like
there is more to video games than Space Invaders and Pac-Man these days.
Fizz, I'm playing this game of tennis with this other person... And I have a paddle that goes back and forward along the bottom of the screen. I don't know what's going to happen next.
And the next thing I know, I've spent £200 on free DLC for Pong. Oh, not free DLC, just yeah. This is Tyrone's.
I've unlocked the Pac-Man skin for Pong.
I feel bad that I would have thought that Tyrone would not accidentally download £200 worth of video game.
This seems like...
He should be a bit more switched on than that.
It seems like the sort of thing they'd end up at the front of the Daily Mail with Compo Face. Going, my husband downloaded games. And the husband's in the background going, don't tell her I did it on purpose, for God's sake. So
yeah, as a fellow millennial, come on, Tyrone. This doesn't really happen.
Well... I just imagine he's bought all these like anime girl skins for like his... I accidentally
bought the swimsuit costume for all the girl characters.
I don't know, sorry.
I just thought it was free.
I was killing robots and the next thing you know, I've got a bikini on. It's like a dream. So he's like, sorry, I thought they were free trials, but it's the only thing keeping me sane. And she's like, I can't get mad at you.
Well, come on, he's in a wheelchair. You got to begrudge him a little bit.
Look, I don't know how well, but it always seems like they're struggling, but not as badly as Gemma and Chesney. But if he wants to spend £200 on a bikini, fine.
Yeah,
he's earned it, hasn't he? But he decides to make model trains later because
he gets a new hobby, doesn't he?
Which is
I didn't really get why.
If you're looking to get into something that's cheaper than computer games, I wouldn't say that model trains is it. But anyway,
maybe what he needs to do is just send Alfie over to Roy's, pull a few apart, and then bring it back.
Well, I didn't know if there was a link because Roy was doing. So I'm sure there was something they said, but I wasn't listening about that. So Hope's like, "Oh, this is well sad." Then she gets another nasty message, and it says, "Everyone thinks you're a fake, and your clothes are cringy and clapped." And Tyrone's like, "Clapped? I've only ever heard that one time before." from my daughter. So he calls Ruby over when she gets back from Little Big Shots, and she just immediately folds, doesn't she, and admits that she's the troll, and she did it because Hope gets everything she wants, and it was because of Hope getting the trainers that Tyrone went to the precinct in the first place and got hit by a car. And Tyrone's like, okay, well, just keep it between us, and smooth things over, and don't send any more messages, and it'll all be fine. But then Fizz is like, oh yeah, I've phoned the police and told them about these messages, and Tyrone's like, no, but why would you? It's fine. And Fizz is like, hang on, you're hiding something. And Hope goes, oh, it was Ruby all along. And everyone gets mad at each other. And is that at the end of how we left it?
That's basically the end. That's the unsatisfying end to this story. I mean, there's clearly a lot more to go.
What do you think of this story? I kind of like the concept.
It was...
It made sense. All the people were acting kind of in character here.
Just family at war. I'm still not really getting into the whole Tyrone.
What would you rather have just watched a let's play with Tyrone killing robots?
I don't know what I wanted
in a bikini.
From this. It was fine, and I can't go any further than this, unfortunately. I did somewhat enjoy David and Shona's shenanigans.
I just want to go back to Jake. Jake wasn't the person sending horrible messages, but why was he acting like such a little snot?
Because he fancied Hope.
But why was he being a little incel about it? I really genuinely thought it was him. I know it was a misdirection, but it was a misdirection born out of them completely trashing Jake and turning him into a bit of a villain.
I don't know.
Do you think anything will come of it? Because you already blackmailed Betsy and Lauren.
Man, he's probably back in the cupboard again for another 6 months.
Get back in that cupboard, Jake. You're not sending text messages. Stop showing off.
Yeah. Right, anyway, David and Shona, it's their wedding anniversary today. 6 years, but David, he hasn't forgotten, but I did think it was peculiar that he's got them a box of lager. I don't think he's that tone deaf that's what he thinks is... And then he tries to say, don't worry about it. Yeah, I got us some lager. That was just a joke. The main present is a night out at the bistro. My brother's restaurant. Well, hey, come on.
He does get her an alcohol-free beer.
I know, but 1 out of 6.
I know, but I think the idea is that you don't want to drink more than 1 alcohol-free beer.
If I was Shona, honestly, I'd be more offended by my husband being so unoriginal that the main present is a dinner at the bistro that's 5 metres away from my house. Come on.
What did we do for our anniversary?
Probably
just went to the bistro.
It's just so stupid that the bistro is considered out of the ordinary and a treat.
But hang on.
The fact that Sarah Lou was there on the same day just
hanging out.
I think that
just having a tomahawk steak.
I think that they eat there every night.
I don't even seem to get a discount either.
How often do we see the Platts eating at their own dinner table versus eating at the bistro?
This is what I said. This is literally what I said the other day about we want more family dinners at home.
Yeah.
But give Shona credit, Michael, because she was not bothered at all, really.
No, she wasn't.
That's why I love her so much.
Yeah.
She's such an unbothered queen.
And she glammed herself up quite nicely.
I do love a glam, Shona.
But of course, the main drama was that when David got to the bistro, it turns out that he'd accidentally booked for the wrong day.
Oh no!
And then kind of elbows his way into Sarah and Kit's tomahawk table. And they start talking about the fact that there was a sweepstake on about how long Sarah Lou and Kit would stay together, which kind of bubbles up for a bit, and then they go away again, and nothing particularly happens there. They end up in the Rovers, and that's about it. And
Shona drinks some paint water.
Oh yeah, it did look like that. She had
be like bitter lemon or something.
I think it was, yeah. I like Shona with their prawn and cocktail crisps.
I loved that. Yes, crisps.
Well, you gotta do something to make some fun out of a fairly dull.
She makes her own fun, doesn't she?
Dull episode.
Julia Goulding.
She does. I think literally she does.
Oh, I love her. I love Julia Goulding and I love Shona. Right, yes. Asher.
Sorry, I didn't even preview this story at the beginning because there was 2 fairly nothing scenes on Monday.
She's in hospital and Dev brings her flowers and she says, I need more time.
And that's the end of that story. What was the point of that this week? There was also a tiny little bit with Glenda and George and Christina, and they're at the pub together on Monday, and they have another kiss.
Glorgina is the the throuple name.
What was the point of it? Was it just like, we need to fill time, let's throw a couple of scenes in there?
It's getting to the end of the year. They have to meet their minimum episode counts.
Yeah.
It's like when the end of the financial year, when the council suddenly starts doing roadworks.
Anyway, that was the end of this week's Coronation Street.
This
I'm
was
very sorry that we
then-
had very little to say about it. And if anybody out there really, really enjoyed it, fair play to you. I'm sorry if we were a bit of a bummer and a downer about it.
If you enjoyed this, you're the problem.
I was trying to be kind of a bit apologetic and you just go straight in there.
It's fine. It's just
Go
a
for
tease. It's just bants, isn't it?
Yeah. What are we going to score this week's show then, Gemma? It feels...
I'm going to give this week 2.5 prawn cocktail crisps.
At 2.5, yeah.
2.5. You're lucky to get that.
I think I'm probably going to go there as well. I think I might give it 2.5 farts in a phone box out of 5.
I do appreciate Debbie saying she likes a man with a big dictionary.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Carl was there going, what? Oh.
2.5 men with big dictionaries. Corrie and
do you
their
think
double entendres.
Maybe Debbie gets the award again because she was just great. I love her.
What, the character of the week?
Yeah.
I mean,
Who else is there?
Nobody really
Shona
stands
with her
out.
crisps,
Shona was
barely in it.
Shona, yeah, but then Debbie wasn't in it a whole lot, was it? It was a bit.
Well, Debbie's heartbreaking and frank discussion with Ronnie about her symptoms. I love how vulnerable she is with him. I just hope he never breaks her heart because I know where he lives.
I am going to give this week's character of the week the character that was most interesting to me, the character that's like, oh good, okay, they're going to be in this scene. And character... No, not Will, obviously. I'm going to give this to Ben Driscoll. Gave it to his
Ben!
ma last week.
Good for
this
you,
week
Ben.
it's Ben. I very much enjoy that character.
Yeah,
just
I
just not
hated the
loving
story.
everything that the characters are actually having to do. But it's early
Well
days,
done.
isn't it? There we go. That was this
That
week's
was
Coronation
nice. That was
Street.
nice.
Tell us your votes, listeners, by voting on
What
our
do you
Facebook
think?
poll. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us this was brilliant.
It's not being wrong or right. It's having an opinion that's different.
Anyway, that's it for this week's Street Talk.